This is the part 1 of the story titled My Blind Husband. The worst thing that can happen to any man is to go blind without having anybody to take care of him. This is Mr. Gabriel and his wife, Mrs. Gladys. It is afternoon and Mr. Gabriel was coming back from where he went to while his wife, Mrs. Gladys, was making up to go out. The kind of treatment Mr. Gabriel has been receiving from his wife, Mrs. Gladys, is not friendly at all. As you can see what is going on right now. Let's see. Here is Mr. Gabriel expecting to see somebody at home that will at least give him water to drink as a blind man. But his wife had to pretend like she was not around. She has to sneak out while Mr. Gabriel sat down there helplessly. A day came when Mr. Gabriel wanted to take his bath. He was not actually feeling fine, so he needed to take one bath, and there was nobody at home to help him boil water. He had to do it himself. What happened here was so touching. Honestly, I expected to have his wife around him to put on the light for him, to light the stove and help him boil water to take his bath. Remember, I said he has been sick, but nobody takes care of him. You know, in marriage, sometimes we talk about, being there, confessing our love and all that, for better, for worse. People are not actually doing what they say, what they confess. When things go wrong, you see people shy away from their confession, shy away from their what is supposed to be their responsibility. Imagine a blind man lighting stove. If there's a little mistake here, you know exactly what is likely to happen here. But let's see how Mr. Gabriel will boil his water and take his bath. Now the water is done for him to take his bath. Look at what is happening here. Look at him going to the light, boiled water, to carry a boiled water without his sight. Let's see what is going to happen. And my prayer is that nothing bad should happen to him. But let's watch and see. Oh, look at this. How can a man be going through this while he has somebody he called a wife? Somebody he paid his bride price, somebody he married legally, he called his wife, and he's going through all this. Let's continue watching. This is another day. Mr. Gabriel came out that fateful morning trying to put on his clothes. He was putting on the wrong side of the clothes, and all of a sudden somebody came in, the wife. After spending some days outside, she came back. She came back only to meet the husband wearing his clothes wrongly, and look at how rudely she reacted to him. She snatched the clothes away from him, refusing him from touching her to recognize who was taking his clothes away from him. She took the clothes from him, turned it properly for him to wear, and gave it back to him to wear. From her reactions, Mr. Gabriel has already known that this was his wife. He took the clothes gently from her and started wearing them. After putting on the clothes, he started looking for his staff. He searched for his staff left and right. He didn't see that. His wife was by the side, staring at him angrily. The next thing she did was to kick the staff close to him and drag his hand down to touch the staff. When Mr. Gabriel picked the staff, she pushed him aside and went inside. Few moments later, Mr. Gabriel was pressed. He stood up to move aside to ease himself. When he was easing himself, the wife rushed out to ask him something. Maybe she was looking for something inside, he couldn't find it, and he rushed out to ask him for that. She saw Mr. Gabriel falling down after easing himself. She didn't do anything. She didn't care to go close to him to help him. Rather, she ignored him and went back inside. This is the height of it. Mrs. Gladys had to bring her boyfriend to the house. He brought him to the house, expecting not to see the husband at home. When she went inside, the husband was coming out from the back of the house, and the boyfriend saw the husband and helped him to sit down. When Mrs. Gladys came out, the boyfriend was asking her who the man was. She told the boyfriend not to worry about the man, that she will explain to him later, that they should go. When they came outside the compound, the boyfriend stopped and asked her to explain to him that as a medical doctor, he has interest in his case, that he has looked at him briefly and discovered that something can still be done for him to regain his sight. But Gladys refused him and told him not to worry, that everything has been done, that he became blind from birth, that everything humanly possible has been done for him to regain his sight, but to no avail. She made all her efforts to confuse the boyfriend, but something kept telling the man that something can still be done for Mr. Gabriel to regain his sight. Before we come to the conclusion of this story, do you think that Mrs. Gladys will allow her boyfriend to succeed in his effort to help Mr. Gabriel regain his sight? And what is your advice to all the women out there that act like Mrs. Gladys to their husband when their husband encounter trouble? Please, I want you to support House of the Sons Global by sharing this video. Share this video right now to go viral so that others will learn from this story. And see you next time with the part 2 and the conclusion of the story. Bye for now.